You are always held with unconditional love. When you look up at the moon and stars, you can feel your soul's connection to the entire universe and all its beings. It's possible to make every decision with your mind, body, and spirit in total alignment and wholeness. I'm Divinely Jennifer, translating astrology and health in ways you've never experienced before so that you can choose the path that is right for you. And this is the Juicy Astrology for Monday, September 27th through Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. Welcome. Beauties! All right, first of all, I want to start off by thanking each and every one of you who has booked a reading, who has replied or commented to one of my videos or posts, all of those of you who have sent me emails. Thank you so much. I respond to each and every one of you, so keep those comments and emails coming. I'm so excited about the community that we are creating together. And I really do feel like in this winter period of between 2021 and 2022 that it is all going to start to come together. And I'll be talking about this a lot in my videos and in the Juicy Astrology over the next several months. So how are you faring now that the sun has entered Libra and Mercury has turned retrograde? The good news is that the energy for the next several days leading up to the new moon on October 6th is really lovely. There are so many supportive and encouraging aspects, including a grand trine in air that supports our commitment to speaking and walking our truth, even when we feel like the lone voice in the wilderness. Granted, we do have all of the outer planets plus Mercury retrograde for the next couple of weeks, supposedly slowing things down. Many of you who have felt as if you were on pause will start to feel more forward motion starting with this new moon in October. Don't jump into anything new though. Ideally, you can wait until just before November's full moon, when the sky is infused with courage, love, and wisdom. It's infused with this beautiful inner knowing, and you'll know. Likewise, with Mercury retrograde, we need to first go back and make sure that we've crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's before putting anything out into the world, unless we plan on revisiting it in the future. This is why my first new moon webinar on October 4th will be free, because I know I will need to review, reflect, reevaluate, and revise how I create them in the future. I have Saturn in Gemini in the 8th house. I have to do everything business-wise twice to get it right. If you want to know more about the webinar, please subscribe to my newsletter at www.divinelyjennifer.com, as that's where I will be publishing all the juicy details. And of course, Pluto in Capricorn and Eris in Aries are moving towards their 5th exact square since January 26, 2020, marked by the death of American basketball star Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and several others in a helicopter crash in Los Angeles that fateful day. And in fact, making what feels like an endless T-square with Mercury in Libra. Don't let anyone drag you into a verbal fight that you really don't want to be a part of. If you've been thinking about taking a 30-day hiatus from social media, now is the time. As more personal planets make their way through Scorpio, starting with Venus, and make their trines to divine and intuitive Neptune, you may also find that your dreams are becoming more vivid and clairvoyant. Pay attention to the messages you receive both during sleep and during the day in your lucid moments. Write them down or notate them on your phone. As out there as they may seem in the moment, you will be surprised in the future at how many of them are your highest self communicating something important. In fact, I got a message this morning from a friend of mine. I had shared a dream with her that I had had last month, and it was all true. And she wanted to tell me about it. Okay, loves, there is a lot going on this week. So with no further ado, Let's get to the juicy astrology for September 27th through October 5th, 2021. As always, all times listed are Pacific Daylight Time, so please adjust accordingly to your time zone. Monday, September 27th, the moon is in Gemini all day, where she is chatty, social, flirty, and ready for fun conversations. She has a lovely day before going void at 9:18 p.m. with a trine to Mercury in Libra, infusing communications with love and harmony. This is really nice energy to apologize to a loved one if you went off the rails about something last week when Mercury formed his first exact T-square with Pluto and Eris. You may also want to apologize for this same transit that happens on October 1st. There are no major planetary aspects today. Tuesday, September 28th, the waning moon enters Cancer at 6:34 a.m., where she is all about feelings. You may find yourself laughing in one moment and crying in the next. She and the sun form their last quarter square of the Virgo lunar cycle at 6:57 p.m. Do something special for someone you love. You might also want to finish up some of the details from your lunar cycle intentions that you set on September 6th. Also today, Uranus and Taurus exactly sextiles Pallas Athena in Pisces at 12:34 a.m. They're both at 14 degrees 11 minutes. I love the energy of this transit, with Uranus giving the goddess of strategy, wisdom, and diplomacy a lightning bolt of inspiration. This transit has been in orb since September 23rd. That means we've been feeling the energy of it since then. I don't know about you, but I have had some serious breakdowns and breakthroughs for the last week, all of which have helped me strategize how I want to step into my vision of the future. Take note of whatever intuitions and inspirations are popping into your head or into your heart. Wednesday, September 29th, the waning moon is in Cancer all day, feeling inspired and dreamy. Take advantage of two really potent and juicy transits today. First, and if your kiddos are listening to this with you, skip the next 30 seconds to a minute and go back and listen to it when they're not around. We have Venus in Scorpio trining Neptune in Pisces at 9:13 a.m. They're both at 21 degrees 22 minutes. You are seriously going to want to avoid any and all work and instead have the best sex ever with your soulmate. Like transformational, I think I just died and went to heaven, lovemaking and orgasms. Just make sure you stay hydrated and grounded with all of that passion. This transit is all about going deep. And yes, that is a double entendre. Tapping into magic, psychic connections, your dreams, meditations, rituals, and initiations, and connecting with the divine through death and rebirth, and possibly a few more orgasms. Yowza! Have a safe word and don't let anyone delude you into doing something you really don't want to do, because there is also the potential for some manipulation here. Then, and yes, the kids can listen again, the sun in Libra trines Saturn in Aquarius at 3:19 p.m. They're both at 6 degrees 59 minutes. Are you committed to shining your light in your one-on-one relationships even when the going gets tough? That can be challenging if you feel like you're not in harmony through codependency or really different perspectives. This transit reminds us to be disciplined in our sovereignty so that our relationships can thrive. Thursday, September 30th, the waning moon in Cancer gets in on the action with Venus and Neptune in the dark hours of the night. Someone may wake you up in the middle of the night for more magic making. Unfortunately, the divine love is short-lived as she then makes a T-square with Pluto and Eris before going void opposite to retrograde Mercury in Libra at 7:48 a.m. Orgasms have the potential to turn into fighting and tears. Everyone goes to their respectful corners for the rest of the day. But the moon does move into playful, expressive, creative, courageous, and bold Leo at 5:53 p.m. Step up as a leader and be the first to apologize. You can blame it all on the astrology. After yesterday's psychic transformations, you may feel a bit of a hangover as Venus in Scorpio squares Jupiter in Aquarius at 4:31 p.m. They're both at 22 degrees 49 minutes. Jupiter is magnifying Venus here, so be intentional with your love, relationships, and money. Some of the lower vibrations of this square include overspending, a lack of discretion, promiscuity to avoid how we're really feeling, and very public displays of affection. However, the higher vibrations of this transit include big transformations, gifting to your favorite group, organization, or nonprofit unconditionally, showing your love in quirky, unconventional ways, and visualizing the new earth you want to be a part of. Friday, October 1st. Today has the potential to be a buzzkill because of some really challenging energy. Luckily, the moon in Leo is having a blast. She gets in on the Mars, Sun, Saturn, Ceres, Grand Trine, and Air by forming a kite in her opposition to Saturn. This is such fun energy around boundaries and creative activities. Imagine a loving father running around the yard with his little ones, throwing them into leaf piles, playing dress up, having tea parties outside, and making up silly songs about the seasons. Personally, I would much rather focus on the moon's energy than Mercury's second exact T-square with Pluto and Eris, which will feel mostly in the early morning hours depending on your location. Those of you in England and Europe will feel it in the mid to late afternoon. And those of you in Australia will feel it late at night. You really do have a choice in what you perceive as truth, even if your truth is different from the masses in the collective. And you really do have a choice in how you react to a situation, to a headline, or to someone's social media post. Don't let them goad you into choosing anything but love and sovereignty. Mercury, Pluto, and Eris are all retrograde, so you know this isn't the end of it. You'll feel more complete to make a judgment call on November 1st and 2nd, when they form the T-square for the third and final time. Likewise, Mars in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries today at 5:59 a.m. They're both at 10 degrees 44 minutes. The thing is, it's so easy to play the wounded victim if we react the way the mainstream wants us to. Because if you don't take your vitamins, I might get sick, right? This opposition really points out the polarities and fighting happening in the world of healing. Are you going to take action that inspires healing in yourself and others? Or are you going to take the bait of the Mercury, Pluto, Eris T-square and get into a fight with someone who is reacting out of their own wounded paradigm? The highest vibration of this transit is to take action towards healing yourself so that you can heal your relationships with love. And if that doesn't work, go for a walk or a run, or at the very least, take a few deep cleansing breaths. Saturday, October 2nd, the waning moon continues the party in Leo for much of the day. She may get really loud in the afternoon before going void with a square to Venus in Scorpio at 4:42 p.m. Watch out for infidelity, jealous or lying romantic partners, and manipulation. She'll be void until tomorrow. You'll be eyes wide open, however, when Venus in Scorpio sextiles Pluto in Capricorn at 12:47 a.m. They're both at 24 degrees 19 minutes. This is their closing sextile from their conjunction in Capricorn on January 28th, 2021. How have you empowered yourself in your relationships with others, as well as with money and abundance? Where are you still being asked to transform? Take a moment to reflect how far you've come and how good it feels. Sunday, October 3rd. The waning moon moves into loving, detail-oriented, maternal, and health-oriented Virgo at 1:37 a.m. She's focusing on fertility, home, and health right now. What still needs to be harvested from the Virgo lunar cycle and the intentions that you set? Today is a busy day astrologically. First, Mars in Libra trines Ceres in Gemini at 5:19 a.m. They're both at 12 degrees 2 minutes. This is part of the juicy grand trine in air we get to experience through the new moon. People are taking action and shining their light to help create new paradigms of fertility, community, and love. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up and saying, whatever. It means unconditionally loving someone for who they are, no matter how much you might disagree or get annoyed with them. It also means you don't have to stay in relationships that do not serve your highest purpose or do not allow you to be the master of yourself. Commit to the flow of the transit and the grand trine. Use the energy of love to fuel your creativity and ideas. Then, the Sun in Libra follows Mars and opposes Chiron in Aries at 8:50 a.m. They're both at 10 degrees 39 minutes. The Sun is the last personal planet to oppose Chiron since Venus brought the wounded healer some love on August 26th. Sunlight and fresh air are some of the most ancient healing remedies. Are there any wounds in your one-on-one relationships, especially regarding fairness and balance, that could use some light and fresh air? The shadow side of this transit is to go airing out your or someone else's dirty laundry, to get caught in the shadows of victimhood. Use the highest vibrations of this transit to infuse any real or perceived injustices with love and beauty, and then mentor others, including your beloved, to do the same. Later in the afternoon, retrograde Mercury in Gemini trines retrograde Jupiter in Aquarius at 5:04 p.m. They're both at 22 degrees 40 minutes. This is the second of their 3 trines, the last being on October 31st or November 1st, depending on your location, after both planets have turned direct. This is not necessarily a time to pick up the megaphone and preach about how messed up the mainstream is. Instead, you can use the energy here to review how you communicate as an individual within the collective and also in your relationships. Read a book or watch a video on the 5 different love languages. Explore innovative ways to use your voice to advocate for others. Best yet, feel into this new language that will be created to help birth the new earth. Finally, Saturn in Aquarius squares Vesta in Scorpio at 8:21 p.m. They're both at 6 degrees 55 minutes. Are you really going to let the fear-based collective dictate how you manage your health and well-being? You can see what is happening right now in the collective as obstacles, limitations, or boundaries, or you can view it all through the lens of initiation into mastery of your own sacred physical body. We may have to keep secrets about our health right now, but we don't have to let them manipulate us through their fear of death. Monday, October 4th, the waning moon in Virgo has a tough morning. Why is nobody getting down to business? Because she's considered balsamic and in the dark phase of the moon, and it's time to start resting in preparation for the new moon. She does have a juicy trine to Pluto in Capricorn in the evening, reminding her that she has sovereign power over her physical well-being and health. The Sun in Libra trines Ceres in Gemini at 7:49 p.m. They're both at 12 degrees 5 minutes. This is so gorgeous. It's also part of the grand trine in air right now. Air signs are all about ideas and ideals in some way. Gemini is your ideas, our individual ideas. Ceres is inspiring you to conceive of ideas, conceive of language. Even setting an intention around how you use your words can help you feel fertile and creative. Intentionality with language is everything right now because what we say has such a profound impact on what we manifest and on our own vibration. Libra is about ideas and ideals in our one-on-one relationships, creating more love, more beauty, and more balance. No relationship can thrive when one person contributes 20% and the other person 80%, or if someone even feels that way. And then Aquarius, where Saturn is right now, is all about ideas and ideals of the collective. It's the relationship between quirky individuality and innovation of ideas and ideals. This grand trine is asking us to commit to conceiving a world where we are in harmony with our individual ideas and ideals and then within the collective and within our relationships, because we are all shining our light at the highest vibration for the greatest good. So as the sun in Libra trines Ceres in Gemini, use your words to create loving language and shine your gorgeous light in your one-on-one relationships. That should feel good. And finally, Tuesday, October 5th. The waning moon goes void with a sextile to Venus in Scorpio at 1:46 a.m. You may have some really sexy dreams. She moves into Libra at 5:41 a.m., where she turns her attention to feeling more love, beauty, and fairness in one-on-one relationships. There are no major transits today, but Mars in Libra has entered the energy of a yod with Pallas Athena in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus. Are your dreams and values aligned with your relationships, no matter how quirky you might be? I see this playing out in the collective as big financial issues brewing in the U.S. government. Stay tuned so you can stay out of it. All right, beauties. This is, for the most part, a really lovely close to the Virgo lunar cycle if you can stay above the radar and low frequency of the 3D world. Only you can control how you react to something. A big shout out of love to Angie, Becky, and all of the badass babes at Brick Salon in Auburn for empowering people to feel beautiful in their best ways. If you're ever up in the Sierra foothills of California and feel like a makeover to get ready for the new earth, definitely make this salon a part of your journey. I'll be hosting a free new moon webinar on October 3rd, so if you want to know more about it, make sure you are on my mailing list by signing up at www.divinelyjennifer.com. That's also where you can book a reading with me to understand better your natal chart, how all of this cosmic energy may impact you, and how you can support your well-being naturally and in alignment with your natal chart and what's happening in the skies right now. I love you, and I send you blessings for a divine, love-infused week. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Divinely Jennifer, and I'll see you the next time.